Well, we're at the Chief Minister's press briefing, and we've been hearing from Mr Watterson on his items he had, but the man himself, Chief Minister, back from the Channel Islands, and that's really what I'd like to talk to you about. Is this a new love-in with the Jersey and Guernsey governments?
Well, I took the initiative on the back of the fact that we probably are in a unique situation at the moment between the three Crown dependencies, in that all islands now have new chief ministers more or less at the same time. There have obviously been some problems in the past, some considerable differences of opinion periodically between the three islands, but it just seemed to me worth exploring the opportunity now to draw a line in the sand, forget what's gone in the past, and to introduce a new era of cooperation and friendship, bearing in mind that we face very similar challenges at the moment.
I mean, it's interesting to say that, because I bet a lot of that's going on behind the scenes, you know, the sort of discussions you have, because you're all trying to chase the same sort of markets, and one comes up with a great idea, and the others will pounce in there. But in the public, it's always looked pretty good. But this is different. You actually are now dealing with, you know, person to person. I mean, are we going to have the Tri-Islands sort of government eventually?
Well, I don't know about Tri-Islands government. I don't think that's likely to happen, not during my political lifetime anyway. But the three islands will always be in competition for economic gain. That's inevitable, and I have no problems with that at all. We'll be fighting as hard as anyone else for it. But there are a whole raft of other issues which are very common across the three islands. We have common problems, for example, on constitution, on regulation of the financial services industry, on a whole raft of issues like that. And of course, internally, we have very similar issues too. All three islands are now trying to balance budget deficits and are looking at ways to streamline government and improve the delivery of public services. So there's lots and lots of areas where we can work together very constructively, which is in no way competitive at all, and actually could be mutually beneficial.
Well, some may say, and I'm give you a compliment here, that you've probably led the field on a lot of things and caused the Channel Islands to play catch-up. I'm thinking of the tax agreements you've made and that sort of thing. But I mean, I'm thinking now that you get in on the aviation industry and you set up this thing and it's going very well, and suddenly now Guernsey decide they want to join in. I mean, you can't be very happy when you hear things like that.
Well, it's obviously disappointing that from time to time other jurisdictions don't have the same original line of thought that the Isle of Man does. But it's the world we live in. We've got to accept these sort of things. We've been very successful over the last 20, 25 years, that we've been first to market with quite a number of new economic niche opportunities. And that has set the Isle of Man in a very strong position economically. It's the reason why we've not been in recession. But you've got to accept now that every country, big or small, is looking for the new niche economic opportunity. Everybody's trying to rebuild their economy. They're trying to rebuild their public finances. And therefore, it's inevitable that countries will spill over into other areas of activity.
Now, they've got smaller governments than the Isle of Man, haven't they, per head of population? Have you learned anything from how you're going to be able to slim things down here? What's going down there?
We've started discussions on that. Jersey in particular have been working on this longer than we have. They have a slightly different starting point, which makes a difference. Although government is smaller in Jersey and Guernsey, they don't provide the same range of services that the Isle of Man does. So there is some slight difference on that. But my hope is that the three islands now can, at that level, work together to try and identify ways of streamlining government, improving the delivery of public services, cooperating on finding solutions to some of these really difficult challenges facing us all, such as health, social care, an ageing population. These are all common across all islands. It's not a competitive thing. It's something that, working in collaboration, three small islands can actually do a great deal.
And do you believe you can share resources? I mean, I know Jersey and Guernsey have been doing this already, where one person can do the same job on both islands in something. Yes. Do you see that extending to include us?
Well, that actually in itself is quite a remarkable achievement, that Jersey and Guernsey actually now have started speaking to each other and cooperating on this. I think this in itself heralds the wind of change which is blowing across the Crown dependencies. Whether, just because of the physical proximity of Jersey and Guernsey, whether the Isle of Man can actually fit into that mix in that narrow sense remains to be seen. But certainly in a broader sense, I want the Isle of Man to be working in collaboration with those two islands. We will help them as much as we can, and I hope we will learn from them as well, from their own experiences.
But then, it's still a game of poker to some degree, isn't it? You hold your cards fairly close. You don't want to tell them everything that's going on here or plans for the future.
To be fair, Jersey in particular have been extremely open and straightforward with us. They've told us a good background as to what the financial situation is in Jersey, how they are planning to go about it, alleviating that situation. That could well be of some benefit to us to see how they're going to tackle these problems. And these issues will continue. Again, it's not really a competitive thing. It's learning from each other's experiences, bearing in mind all three islands, relatively speaking, have limited resources to duplicate or triplicate, in some cases, the cost of addressing some of these problems. Seems a bit foolish when there is cooperation abroad that could actually save us all money.
Okay. Well, finally, it's our first invitation to your press conferences. I just want to ask you how you enjoy the job.
It's been, in many ways, I suppose, very close to what I expected it to be. It's been a very tough 6 months. It's been a huge amount of hard work. I've hardly had any days off at all in all that period. But we are starting to make some progress. It's been challenging, and it will remain challenging now for the rest of the term of my office anyway.
And you'll stick it out, yeah? You do the whole 5?
I very much hope so, unless my colleagues think otherwise. But we are in difficult times, there's no question about that. But I think with my background and experience, particularly in Treasury and economic development, I've got a fair grasp of what's needed. And the Council of Ministers are working very well as a team. And by and large, Tynwald, I think, is being very supportive and cooperative in recognising the problems that we face and the need to work together to overcome them. So it's been an interesting few months. It's been very hard work, very tiring. I hope ultimately rewarding.